Hello, I am Bookface, and I, like many people, am terrified of the horrors that lie deep in the ocean. I've seen Jaws. I know better than to go anywhere near the water. Also seen Sharknado. I feel like that's less concerning, but still sort of proves my point. But why is the ocean so absolutely horrifying? That's kind of a deep and concerning, moderately existential question. So instead we'll just answer why some part of the animals in there are just really big. That has to do with something known as deep sea gigantism, also known as abyssal gigantism. You're not making this any more comforting, science. And this is the tendency for animals, especially invertebrates, to get really, really big in deep sea environments compared to ones that live in shallow water. This is something some scientists have difficulty explaining because it's kind of hard to study stuff so deep in the horrifying nope parts of the ocean. I wouldn't want to go down there and study anything. Examples of deep sea gigantism are the Japanese spider crab, the giant isopod, the giant oarfish, the giant squid, big fin squid, and the Greenland shark, among others. There are many causes thought to contribute to deep sea gigantism. One suggested reason is lowered temperature, which can be related back to the thing we learned about in the megafauna video, which is that larger animals are more likely to appear in larger and colder areas. Nothing's bigger and colder than the abyssal parts of the ocean. There are other effects that come from the cold, such as an increased cell size in animals, longer lifespans, and higher concentrations of oxygen in the water. And it's important to note that having more oxygen can typically mean getting larger, which is why there were giant insects in prehistoric times when there was a lot of oxygen. Another suggested reason for their size is actually a lowered food supply. And this seems kind of counterintuitive, considering you'd think you need more food to get bigger, especially considering that's what I said in my last video on megafauna, but it can also work in a different way. Some suggest that a larger size in animals actually makes it easier for these creatures to scavenge for food, and there's also a rule in zoology known as Kleiber's rule that says that for most animals, their metabolic rate scales 3/4 of the animal's total mass. To translate into slightly simpler terms, I'm pretty sure that means that bigger animals are better at turning food into energy, which helps deep sea creatures since getting food is difficult. Essentially, since they get bigger, their meals go further and they don't have to eat quite as much. And the last suggested reason for deep sea gigantism is that there are fewer predators, so, these creatures have a better chance of being enormous, and they don't have to deal with all the disadvantages that come from being huge, like not being as fast. And so that is deep sea gigantism, the most horrifying thing I've heard about in a while, honestly. The bottom of the ocean, the deepest parts of that abyss, are absolutely horrifying. Just deep sea creatures are nightmare fuel, and the fact that there's a general scientific rule that the creatures in this horrifying area actually get even bigger is just not helping. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Check out my other videos in this zoology series, and I will see you next time. Bye.